All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, glory, and worship to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who still rule well, who taught me this truth. And peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom. The title of this lesson is going to be The Kingdom is Only for Israel, featuring the throne of David. Okay, I wanted to speak on the throne of David and the details of some of the details of the throne of David. Okay, it's gonna be real quick, Lord willing, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach me this 100% truth. And peace to the elect Akim scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. All right, and like I said, this lesson is gonna be featuring the throne of David, which the Lord said that the kingdom of heaven will consist of the throne of David and King David sitting on a throne. Let's go to Amos. And Christianity tries to get around the fact that the kingdom of heaven is going to consist of the throne of David. And David had his okay. So we can't ignore the fact. We can't ignore the prophecies, which Christianity is built around ignoring the prophecies, and ignoring the prophecies in the Old and New Testament. They act as though these things are done away with. But the throne of David will be fulfilled. This is Amos chapter 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. So the Lord said he's going to raise up the tabernacle of David, okay, that is fallen. And that means the exact men that were in the house of David, the tabernacle of David, the Bayath Shal Dawadah. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins and will build it as in the days of old. So the Lord is going to raise up the tabernacle of David when he establishes the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Because when you're reading about the kingdom of heaven, let's go to Ezekiel 37. It tells you that in the kingdom of heaven, David is going to sit on that throne forever. Ezekiel 37 and verse 22, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. This is speaking on the nation of Israel, because we split. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom became two nations. But the Lord is making us one nation right now, because the nation of Israel consists of you Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, and Native American Indians. All right, of Negro and Indian descent, you are the biblical Israelites, and the Lord is bringing us back and making us one nation once again. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And that's referring to David. It says, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. And David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd, which is Yahushua. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein. And these words are words coming from a man that cannot lie. Keep that in mind. It says, even they and their children's children forever. And David, my servant, shall be their prince forever. So the tabernacle of David, the house of David, King David, and his men are going to sit on the thrones in the kingdom of heaven. So what does that consist of? What does that look like? And he's going to do that forever. Let's get one more in 1 Kings. And like I said, this is just going to be real quick. 1 Kings 2 and 45. First Kings 2 and 45. It says, and King Solomon, let's start at verse 44. The king said, moreover, to Shimei, thou knowest all the wickedness which thine heart is privy to, that thou didst to David my father. Therefore, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall return thy wickedness upon thine own head. And King Solomon shall be blessed, and the throne of David shall be established before Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai forever. So the throne of David is going to be established before the Lord forever in his kingdom, in Yahushai's kingdom. And in Yahushai's kingdom, David, the tabernacle of David, the house of David will be raised up. And this house of David has nothing to do with the heathen nations. This is Amos 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins and build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. So we're going to, the house of David, Lord willing, we're part of that number. They're going to possess the remnant of Edom, because they did in the past, and of all the heathen, because he did in the past. It says, and I will raise, Salakia, and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doth this. So now let's go to the main verse that I want to feature, which is Psalms, the 18th chapter. Okay, and this breaks down with Psalms, the 18th chapter is partly some prophetic things dealing with Yahushua, but it also speaks on the tabernacle of David, okay, and what the Lord was going to do for David, his servant, and how his throne in the kingdom of heaven would be. We know that the kingdom of heaven is only for Israel, okay, as we're reading from these scriptures. Let's go to Psalms 18 and verse 37. I have pursued mine enemies and overtaken them. Neither did I turn again till they were consumed. This is David speaking. I have wounded them that were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. This is when David speaking on the times when he had the enemies in subjection, and he's also going to prophesy about the kingdom of heaven. It says, for thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose against me. And who rose against the nation of Israel? Psalms 83. Psalms 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and with the inhabitants of Tyre. So all these nations, all the heathen nations have come up against the nation of Israel, against King David, against the Lord's people. So these are the ones that are going to be put under the feet of David in the kingdom of heaven, under the tabernacle of David. It says 39, Psalms 18 and 39, for thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose against me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I may destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto Yahweh, but he answered them not. So it's going to get so bad. All right, when the nation of Israel get that power and we're set up, it's going to get so bad that the heathen are going to call to Yahweh, but he's not going to save them because they have to serve 1,000 years of slavery. And Esau Edom is going to be exterminated off the face of the earth. It says, they cried, but there was none to save them, even unto Yahweh, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. So David is speaking on the kingdom. He said, we're going to beat them small as the dust before the wind. Where is that also? That's also in the book of Micah. And we know that Micah, when he says these things, he's speaking on the kingdom of heaven. So this is what the kingdom of heaven, the throne of David, looks like for the other nations. Micah 4 and 13, arise and thresh. When you look up that word thresh, it means to pulverize, to beat to powder. That's what that word thresh means, to beat to powder. It says Micah 4:13, arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion. For I will make thine horn iron, which is speaking on that spiritual power. All right, when you go to that word horn, it means rays of light, laser beams that will shoot out of the elect chosen men eyes, like you see on the movie X-Men. It says, and arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thine hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto Yahweh, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. So the nation of Israel is going to beat the nations into powder. Again, when you go to that word thresh in the Hebrew, it means to pulverize, to beat to powder. So that's why David said, and that verse is dealing with the spiritual power that the elect are going to get. And when you read here in not Revelation, Psalms 18, David also speaks on the spiritual power that the Lord gave him and is going to give us. This is Psalms 18 and 29. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power I have leaped over a wall. So David said he ran through a whole troop by himself. It says, verse 33, he maketh my feet like hinds' feet. He setteth me upon the high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. So David had extreme power through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shah, which is how he was able to slay Goliath and do great things and fight many great battles as he did. So back to Psalms 18 and 42. Then did I beat them small as powder before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. This is what the tabernacle of David was. He was the head of the heathen. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. So the heathen were serving David. A people whom the Lord have not known, who David have not known. They were serving him, and he was the head of the heathen. This is what the throne of David is going to consist of in the kingdom. It says, as soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. As soon as the nations hear of the elect, they shall obey the elect. As soon as the nations hear that a member of the elect or Yahweh or David is coming to their land, they shall obey. And they're going to obey before they hear. It says, as soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. The strangers shall fade away and be afraid out of their close places. So this is what the throne of David is like for the other nation, for the heathen nation, because dominion and power is given to the nation of Israel forever and ever and ever. It says 46, Yahweh liveth, and blessed be my rock, and let the power of my salvation be exalted. It is the Most High that avengeth me and subdueth the people under me. So the Lord is going to subdue the people under David, because right now we don't have a king. Right now we're waiting for the kingdom to be established. We're waiting and we're seeking David our king, which we know that King David in the regeneration was King Mashah. This is Hosea chapter 3 and verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the latter days. So David is going to be here in the latter days. You got the people over there in the land of Israel that claim they're the Israelites. So where is King David? Why is there a leader named Benjamin Netanyahu or whatever it is, and why is his name not Malak Dawadah? Why is his name not Dawadah Ban Judah? Why is his name Netanyahu? It's just so many things are wrong with them being in the land and claiming to be who they claim to be. Psalms 18:47. It is the Most High that avengeth me and subdueth the people under me. He delivered me from mine enemies. Yeah, thou liftest me up above those that rise against me, which we read in Psalms 83, the nation that rose against David. So the Lord is going to set David up once again. He's going to put the nations under him, under his feet. He's going to subdue all people under him. And this is the throne of David that was promised to be established forever in the kingdom of heaven. It says, he delivered me from mine enemies. Yeah, thou liftest me up above those that rise against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. And who is the violent man? Who's the one with the body cam videos? Who's the violent man? Verse 49, therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Yahweh, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. So we are to praise the Lord in the midst of these heathen nations, and we are to have the name. So you got camps, guys in Israel teaching that we don't know the name. The scriptures constantly speak about how we're going to praise the name, how we're going to exalt the name, because we have the name. It says 50, great deliverance giveth he to his king, and show of mercy to his anointed, to Dawadah, and to his seed forevermore. So the kingdom is going to be given to David and his seed, which is those that come after him forevermore. Why? Because he's going to be that king that's going to be set up forever. Ezekiel 38, one more time, verse 24. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd, and they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. We just read that in Psalms 18, forevermore. It says, verse 27, my tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahweh, doth sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. So again, the Lord is making it plain that the kingdom is for the nation of Israel. Daniel 2:44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. It's not going to be left to the throne of, whoever. It's going to be left to the throne of David, the house of David, the tabernacle of David. All right. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So Lord, when it's edifying, I want to say, call Halal Yimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rachaha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who stood with well. Peace to the elect. Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, for the spirit of God's blessing. Shalom.